So welcome to Wednesday's Yoga with Lynn class. Thank you for joining me. So if you've got any injuries or any niggles that may be affected by the class, do be careful. Take caution with everything that you do. Every day you might feel different, so just feel how you feel in every posture that we do. Do anything that you want to do, but don't do anything that doesn't feel right for you. You can rest anytime, you can adapt if you need to. And also make sure that whilst you're in your own home, you have plenty of room to do all the postures. You can start lying down. So take a lie down on your back. Make yourself as comfy on your back as you can. And let your attention come to your breath. Feel the movement that your body makes as you breathe. You should feel some expansion as you breathe in and gentle contraction as you breathe out. And direct the expansion that you make with your breath in down towards your abdomen. So maybe a little lower than you would naturally expand. Direct it down as you breathe in, and as you exhale, softening of your abdomen. So following the rise and fall of your breath, but directing the expansion into your abdomen as you breathe in, softening your abdomen as you breathe out. And then starting to change the way that you breathe, so that rather than taking an in-breath and then allowing that expansion to happen, make the expansion happen in your abdomen and let the in-breath follow. Like as you expand, you then initiate your in-breath. There may be a bit of a delay. And similarly, when you're ready to exhale, don't do the exhale, soften your abdomen back down, let the exhale follow that. So your focus is on the movement of your abdomen, expanding and letting the in-breath follow, contracting and letting the out-breath follow. Your shoulders are relaxed, face relaxed. Focused on the movements that your abdomen makes. And following it with a kind of an inquisitiveness, noticing if there is a delay. When you make that expansion, does the breath come? How long does it take for the breath to come? What does it feel like when the breath comes? Same on the breath out. Keeping that steady, smooth breath. Bring your arms by your sides. Ready to move your arms in time with your breath. So as you breathe in, you're still expanding your abdomen. Allow your arms to reach up to the ceiling and then over beyond your head. As you breathe out, your arms come back down by your sides. Next time your arms are reached beyond your head, and don't rush to get there, leave them there, continue breathing with them there. Bring your legs together, push your heels away, pull your toes up towards your face, stretch your fingers out towards the wall behind, and then spread your fingers wide, stretching the skin on the palms between the fingers. Spread your toes wide, stretching the skin there as well. Relax your hands and your feet. Bring your arms back down by your sides. And bend your knees. Bring your knees up onto your chest. Hands around your knees. Have a rock side to side. And place your feet back down on the floor. Roll to your right side. Make your way up to standing for our salute to the sun. So come to stand at the front end of your mat. I'm going to move in a moment. Just adjust my mat. Toes are pointing forwards. And imagine the footprint that you make on the beach or with wet feet on concrete. There's a gap in the middle. So feel the whole width of the balls of your feet firm on the floor. Feel the whole circle of your heels firm on the floor. And then lift up through your shins, through your abdomen, center of your chest, shoulders relaxed, arms feeling heavy. And keeping your chin parallel to the floor, feeling like you're being lifted up at the backs of your ears. Scan through again from your feet, legs, spine, back of the head. Lift your arms up to the ceiling. Still firm through your feet. This time though, like you've got a belt on and it's got a notch tighter. So your ribs lift higher up off your hips. Fingers stretch up to the ceiling. And then look up between your hands. Reach your arms back and wide. Like you've got a big balance ball behind you, a big gym ball that's as big as you are. You're leaning back onto it. And the roundness of the ball pushes your hips forward slightly. And the roundness of the ball pushes the centre of your chest up towards the ceiling. Backs of your shoulders can lie back against the ball. Ball's inflating. Look forwards, reach up. And then take a forward fold. Bend your knees. Set your fingertips down on the floor. Relax your shoulders. Let the back of your neck be long. Step your right foot all the way back to a lunge. And then lift your chest, look forwards. Left foot steps back to down face dog. Ground down through your hands, tummy button to spine. Upside down V shape. Slide forwards to plank. Gently place your knees down on the floor and keeping your elbows close by your sides. A smooth lower down, front body rolls down onto the floor. Elbows are still in close, roll your shoulders back and then lift your chest. Let the backs of your shoulders feel like they're moving into the space behind them to lift your chest. Look back down at the floor, push up to hands and knees, tuck your toes under, lift into down face dog. We're going to walk through the legs. So bending one knee, stretch the back of the other leg, make it long, longer than the front of the leg, and then swap over legs. And then both heels move down towards the floor. Elongate the backs of the legs again. Tummy button to spine. And take your weight on your left foot. Look between your hands. Step your right foot through to a lunge. Step the left foot in line with your right foot. Forward fold. As much knee bend as you need. And then bend your knees some more. Drop your hips down towards the floor. Keep your hips down low. Lift your spine. And then straighten your legs to come all the way up. Palms together at the top. And then slide your palms down. Feel the firmness down through your feet again. Your full height. Top chest broad. And then lift your arms to the ceiling. Look up, reach back and wide, lean back over the ball, and then let the ball inflate just a little bit. Look forwards, reach up, forward fold. Left leg steps back to a lunge. Right foot steps back to down face dog. Tummy button to spine. Slide forwards to plank. Hold it steady. If you're feeling strong, leave your knees lifted. Otherwise, place your knees gently down on the floor. We're going to lower the front body down. If you've kept your knees lifted, can you land the whole of your front body at the same moment? Elbows close in by your sides. Roll your shoulders back, lift your chest. Look back down, push up to hands and knees. Tuck your toes under, down face dog. Tummy button to spine, firm through both hands. Now feel like your heels are pulling back to the wall behind, your calves are pulling back to the wall behind, the backs of your thighs are pulling back to the wall behind. And as that moves your hips a little bit further back, use the strength in your arms to hold them there. This is looking good. Weight on your right foot, look between your hands, step your left foot through to a lunge. Step your right foot to meet your left foot, forward fold. Good bend of your knees. Keep your hips down low, lift your chest, and then straighten your legs to come up. Palms together at the top, as tall as you can, and then slide your palms down. This time we go with the breath in to lift up. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, right leg back to a lunge. Exhale, down face dog. Inhale, plank. Option to drop your knees. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, down face dog. Stepping your feet right next to each other in down face dog. Tummy button to spine. You're going to lift your right leg high up towards the ceiling. Keep your hips square to the mat though. Don't lift the right hip out to the right. Keep it pointed down. Push into your hands. Squeeze your left heel down to the floor. Flex your right ankle. Lift the ankle up to the ceiling. The heel, sorry, up to the ceiling. And then bring your right foot back down to the floor. Feet hip distance apart. Back into your down face dog. Weight on your left foot, look between your hands. Breath in, right foot steps forwards. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, palms slide down. Breath in. And a breath out. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, down face dog. Inhale, plank. Option to drop your knees. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, down face dog. Step your feet together. Firm down through the floor, tummy button to spine. And then lift your left leg straight up behind you. Flex your left ankle, heel pushing up to the ceiling, right heel pushing down to the floor. Stretching both heels away from you. Left foot back down. Feet hip distance apart. Weight on your right foot, look between your hands. Breath in, left foot forwards. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, palms slide down. Breath in here. And a breath out. And then step your feet a little bit apart. Rest your arms by your sides. We're going to take a balance. So if you think you need to be near something where you can just take a bit of a hold with your hand, feel free to move. Feel free to step off your mat if you've got a harder floor that you could stand on. But come back into that mountain pose. So you have firmness down through the balls of both feet, the heels of both feet. And you're at your full height, chest broad, shoulders relaxed. You're going to pick up your right knee and hold it either in front or underneath, wherever it feels comfortable to hold it. Take your left arm out to the side. Now it's just the left foot that's ground down into the floor, but you've still got the lift up through your legs, your spine. If your right hip feels like it's swinging out to the side a little bit, see if you can narrow your hips. Draw your right hip in towards your left hip. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, take the right knee wide out to the side. Keep your hips and chest square to the front. Still make the right hip feel heavy to keep your lower spine symmetrical. If you want a bit more challenge to your balance, you can slowly turn your gaze over your left fingers. If you turned your gaze, bring it back to the center. Bring your knee back to the centre. Hold the knee there, stretch your right arm out. Maybe you can lift your right knee a little higher. And then foot to the floor, arms by your sides. See how your legs feel. If they need a shake, give them a shake. Same with your arms. And then come to standing tall again. So a focus of your eye gaze is really helpful in a balance. Find a point somewhere in front of you where you can hold your gaze, something that's not going to move. And then pick up your left knee. Hold either in front or underneath. And extend the right arm out to the side. So your full height, full breadth of top chest. Narrow hips, left hip sliding in towards the right hip. Breath in. As you exhale, left knee out to the left. So that heavy left hip is really the sort of the inside of the thigh moving towards the ceiling. It's an outward rotation of your left thigh. Staying there. If you want a bit more challenge, slowly moving your gaze to look over your right fingers. You turned your gaze, slowly move it back. Knee to the midline. Lift your left arm, lift your knee. And then foot to the floor. Arms by your sides. A shake if you need a shake. And then take a lie down on your front. Make a pillow with your hands so that you can rest your forehead on your pillow when you've laid down on your front. Hands underneath your shoulders, push up to hands and knees. But then from hands and knees, we're going to go on to our forearms. With your elbows directly under your shoulders and your hands clasped together. You can have your fingers stretched or you can wrap your fingers around, whatever feels comfortable for you. So we're going to do dynamic dolphin, working the shoulders and stretching the shoulders. Your whole length of your forearms, you're going to press down into the mat. And when you press them firmly down in the mat, feel how your shoulders feel sort of strong and square. Keep that pressure down, tummy button to spine. And then you're going to slide your body, your hips and your shoulders forwards. So your arms and your knees don't move on the mat, but you slide forwards. Don't have to go too far. We're going to repeat it several times so you can see how far you want to go. Keep your forearms firmly down and then really draw your tummy button into your spine so that it feels like your tummy button pulls you back to the centre, back to the starting position. From the starting position you slide back. Don't move your arms, don't move your knees. Slide your hips back as far as they're comfortable to go. You get a stretch on your shoulders. Let your head hang so your ears are between your upper arms. Head hanging, and then come back to the centre. So we're going to do it in time with the breath. If your elbows splay wide out to the side, just bring them in whenever you notice. But the two most important things are forearms firmly down, tummy button to spine. Breath in at the centre. As you exhale, you slide forwards. Further forwards you go, the stronger your shoulders need to be. As you breathe in, tummy button pulls you back to the starting position. As you breathe out, you continue sliding back and then you let your head hang between your upper arms. As you breathe in, you come back to the starting position. So exhale forward, strong down through your forearms. Inhale, tummy button pulls you back, that stops your back arching. Exhale, slide all the way back, let your head hang. Inhale back to the start. So continue with the timing of your own breath. Exhale forwards. So remember, the further forwards you go, the stronger it will be. Anytime you've had enough, you can sit back in child's pose. So the whole time your forearms are strong down into the floor. And when you pull back from that front position, it's your tummy button that feels like it's pulling you back. It stops the lower back doing the work. So from wherever you are, take one more full cycle, and then the next time that you come all the way back, let yourself sit back on your heels and rest your arms. So that dynamic dolphin alternates between strong on the shoulders and stretch on the shoulders. We're going to take dolphin pose itself, which has a bit of strength in the shoulders and a bit of flexibility at the same time. So you're going to come back to that original starting position with your elbows under your shoulders and your hands clasped. Knees are hip distance apart, feet are behind your knees. You're going to tuck your toes under. So it's a position like down face dog, but instead of being on your hands, you're on your upper arms. So firm down through your upper arms. Draw your tummy button up towards your spine. Look through between your legs towards your knees. And press down even firmer through your upper arms. Press down through the backs of your toes. Lift your knees up off the floor. Lift your hips high. Stretch your legs and then push down through your upper arms again, just to send your hips gently back. And then, like you did before, let your head hang in between your upper arms. So feel the posture just for a moment. And then bend your knees. Place your knees gently back down on the floor. Sit back in child's pose. I'm going to take a moment's rest. And then we're going to go up one more time, with the option to hold a bit longer if you want to. So if you've had enough, feel free to rest. If you're coming again, then back to that same starting position. Elbows under shoulders, hands together. Knees and feet hip distance apart. Tuck your toes under. Firm down through the whole length of your forearms. Draw your tummy button up towards your spine. Lift your hips. So keep that strength down into your forearms. Feel how it allows you to slide your hips back. And it's that same feeling that we did in down face dog, of heels pulling towards the wall behind, calves pulling towards the wall behind, backs of the thighs pulling towards the wall behind, and the strength in your forearms keeping your hips pulled back. So anytime you need to come down, just gently place your knees on the floor, tummy button to spine, breathe steadily. Maybe you can feel your shoulder blades on your back, tightening on your back. Imagining that your shoulder blades are sliding down towards the back of your waist. And then gently place your knees back down on the floor. Have a rest in child's pose. Stretch out along the floor again on your tummy. Make your pillow with your hands, rest your forehead on your pillow. So your legs are parallel, feet hip distance apart. Point your toes towards the wall behind. If you just lift your bum slightly up in the air, feel where the gap comes at the top of your thighs, the bottom of your hips, your hip crease. So relax your bum again, but then press your hip crease down towards the floor, like you're squeezing out any air gaps. And make that the whole width that's pressing down, rather than just the centre, the whole width of the hip crease pressing down. Stretch your toes out to the wall behind, tighten your kneecaps, and then lift your legs. You don't have to lift high, think about lifting out long as well, stretching out long. Keep the whole width of your hip crease drawn down to the floor. Your kneecaps are facing the floor. Fronts of the legs lifting up away from the floor. And then gently lower them back down. Let your legs flop. And lift the upper body as well. Take your fingertips onto your temples. Chin or forehead on the floor. And lift your elbows away from the floor. Like your elbows are floating up away from the floor. Shoulders move away from your ears. So your neck is long. And then press your hip crease down again. And take a breath in. Lift your chest. And then lift your straight legs out behind. So float your elbows even more away from the floor in order to lift your chest. Extend the legs out behind. Hold of the hip crease firm down. Fronts of the legs lifting up and away. One more breath in. Lift the shoulders, the elbows away from the floor. Exhale. Lower smoothly back down. Find your pillow again. Rest your forehead. Clasp your hands behind your back, so rest your chin or your forehead on the floor. Hip crease firms down again, whole width of the hip crease. We're going to do the same with the legs in a moment. Roll your shoulders, so lift them up towards your ears and then roll them back towards the ceiling and then down away from your ears. And take a breath in, lift your chest, lift your fist off your lower back, pull your fist to the wall behind, squeeze your shoulder blades. Hip crease firmly down, point your toes, lift your legs up away from the floor. Squeeze your shoulder blades some more as if you've got a ball between your upper arms. You're squeezing it, you're pulling your fist to the wall behind. One more breath into left. Exhale, smooth lower back down. And either resting your arms by your sides and turning your head one way, or bring your hands back underneath your forehead as a pillow. Bring your hands under your shoulders, push up to hands and knees. Take a rock of your hips side to side. I want to bring a bit of movement into the spine. So your shoulders don't move. Hips do all the movement. That makes your spine move side to side. So you can change that side to side movement into a circle movement. Again, not moving your shoulders in order to get as much movement in your lower back as you can. So circle the other way. And then side to side again. Sit your hips down on your heels. Lower your front body, relax it over, find child's pose. If your forehead relaxes on the floor, that's great. If it doesn't, then maybe build something with your fists or your hands to rest your forehead on. Make it comfy for you. So comfy that you can relax your shoulders and you can relax your hips. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Lift your chest, bring yourself up. We're going to make our way all the way to standing. We're going to do some standing postures, and we're going to be facing the long edge of the mat for our standing postures. So if you want to turn the mat around like mine is like this, if you have room, do. If you don't worry. And if that's the case, then turn yourself this way round. So you turn to your left. So I'm going to do it square on, but I will help you if you're sideways on as well. Okay. So if you're sideways on, you're facing the left. You're going to step your feet wide apart. You're starting with second warrior. Julian, do you want to go? I think you've turned to the right, Julian. Might that be the case? Can you turn to the left? Yeah, perfect. So hands on hips. Nice wide stance. And then your left leg turns in about 45 degrees. Your right leg turns all the way out to point to the short edge of your mat. And you square your hips and your torso and your shoulders to the long edge of your mat as much as you can. Feel the back foot firmly down on the floor. That's the most important thing in the posture, gripping the back foot to the floor. Take a breath in. As you exhale, keep the grip, bend the right knee. Your spine stays upright as your right knee bends out to the right. Lovely. Take a look down at your right leg. You want to have your knee above your ankle. Mine's slightly ahead, so I'm going to creep my foot away. Lovely. Once you know you've got that right angle, stretch your arms wide out to the side. Imagine you've got a wall right behind you that you don't have to lean on, but you can feel it against you. The outside of your right knee is going to pull back against that wall in order to keep it pointing in the same direction as your toes. And the back of your left thigh is going to pull back onto that wall as well. And then your back ribs, your shoulder blades, the little fingers, everything easing back onto the wall. It's like you're stretching the front of your body to ease everything back. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, see if you can sink your hips. Back foot still gripping the floor. Breath in, open the front body, make the back body touch the wall. Exhale, sink. One more breath in. Feel the wall behind you in every place. Exhale, sink. Breath in to straighten your right leg. And then bring your hands onto your hips. Turn your toes to the front. Take a couple of breaths. Your right leg turns in. Left leg turns out. And then bring your torso to the long edge of the mat again. This time the right foot is the one gripping the floor. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, bend the left knee. Make that check of the knee again. Have a look down. Creep your foot away if you feel that your knee is forwards of your ankle. And then turn your torso back. It's like your tummy button slides around to the right to help you turn back. Stretch your arms wide. Feel the wall behind you. Outside of the left thigh. Outside of the right thigh. Lower back ribs. Shoulder blades. Little fingers, back of your head. Back foot still firm on the floor. Take a breath in. Open up onto that wall behind you. Exhale, sink down. You can look over your left fingers. Breath in, open up to that wall behind you again. Exhale, sink a little bit lower. One more breath in. Exhale, sink. In a breath in to straighten your left leg. Hands onto your hips. Turn your toes to the front. Take a couple of breaths. And then heel toe or walk your feet to hip distance apart. Feet firm on the floor. Take a breath in, feel long through your front body, lift your chest, and then as you exhale, hinge from your hips. Forwards there. So you can feel that the back of your waist isn't rounding as you go down. Sticking your tailbone up behind. When you can't go any further, take a bend of your knees, and then you can let the back of your waist round. You can let your shoulders relax down to the floor. Let go of your hips. Take a hold of the opposite elbow with each hand. Shoulders relaxed. And then lengthen out through the back of your neck. Let your head hang. Firm down through your feet again. Imagine that footprint that you're making on your mat. Release your elbows. Take a deep bend of your knees. Tuck your tailbone under, tuck your chin in. With your arms just dangling in front of you, roll back up to standing. Step the feet wide apart. Parsvakonasana, side angle stretch. So hands on hips. Same legs as second warrior. Your left leg turns in, your right leg turns out. Take a breath in. Exhale, grip with the left foot, bend your right knee. Spine stays upright. So it's the same as your second warrior legs. You want to make sure that your ankle is slightly forwards of your knee this time. And then turn your torso to the front. So tummy button slides around to the left to try and straighten you up. Back foot still gripping the floor. Left hand behind your back, palm face out. Roll your left shoulder back, keep your chest broad, and extend the right arm out to the side. Grip with the back foot, take a breath in. As you exhale, reach your right fingers for the right wall. So your legs don't move, you just slide over. You keep the left shoulder rolling back. And when you can't reach any further, sink your hips some more. Take your right elbow onto your right knee. Reground through the back foot. Lift up out of that elbow. And roll the left shoulder back again. Imagine you've got the wall behind you, so the outside of both thighs, trying to pull back to the wall behind you. And then extend your left arm all the way over. Find a straight line, a straight diagonal line. You can look forwards or you can look up in front of your arm. Keep the legs pulling back to the wall behind you. Roll the whole length of your left side, that side of you that's facing up to the ceiling, roll that back towards your wall as well. A steady breath, back foot gripping the floor. Beautiful. Take your top hand behind your back, palm face out. Turn and look down at your right foot, relax your shoulders, press into your right foot, and as you take a breath in, come back up to standing. Hands on hips, feet to the front. So you might find it useful if you're standing sideways on, just to bring your feet together and turn the other way. I didn't think of that when we did second warrior, I'm sorry. But it just means that you're always moving towards the front. So if you're standing, if you didn't move your mat, turn and face the right. And then this time we're you'll be your front foot will be the one that is closest to me. So once you get there, feet wide apart, and your right leg turns in, left leg turns out, torso to the front. Right foot grips the floor firmly. Take a breath in. Exhale, bend the left knee. Sink your hips, keeping your spine upright. Second warrior legs. Back foot holding you steady. Right hand behind your back, palm face out. Right shoulder rolling back. Left arm out to the side. Take a breath in. Grip with the right foot. Exhale. Reach your left fingers for the left wall. And when you can't reach anymore, sink your hips, elbow onto your knee. So there's a moment there where you sort of collapse onto your knee, but then lift up out of it. Grip with the back foot, the right foot. Feel like your tummy button is turning away from the floor, towards the ceiling. Maybe lifting your gaze up towards the ceiling, stretching your right arm to find the diagonal line. Try not to collapse through the underside of your, through your left side. Keep that side elongated. And then feel that imaginary wall behind you. Outside of both thighs, pulls back onto it. And that right line that's kind of diagonally facing the ceiling, roll that all back. Breathe steadily. And then top hand behind your back, palm face out. Look down at your left foot. Just relax your shoulders. Push down firmly into your left foot. And then take a breath in to come up. Hands on hips. Turn your feet to the front. So heel toe or walk your feet together. Give your legs a shake. And then sit down on your mat. I'm going to sit on a block. We're going to do a twist. If you've got a block, it's a good thing to sit on. If you haven't got a block, you could use a cushion. If you haven't got a block or a cushion, then sit on the floor. That will all be fine. So stretch your legs out in front. Sit up as tall as you can. Relax your shoulders. Point your toes to the ceiling. And then bend your right knee. Bring your foot in, nice and close. And place your left hand on your left knee. Right fingertips on the floor behind. So to sit up straight, it's almost like you pull your thigh to your ribs and your ribs in towards your thigh. Get that feeling of lift with soft shoulders. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, turn to your right. As you breathe in, make that lift again. And as you breathe out, turn again to your right. Look over your right shoulder if your neck's happy to do that. Every breath in, as tall as you can in your spine, a vertical spine but relaxed shoulders. As you exhale, feel how the back of your right shoulder moves into the space behind it to turn your ribs. One more breath in. Final breath out. And then gently unwind. Bring yourself to the front. Hand either side of your hips, stretch your legs, shake if needed. And then sit tall again. Toes to the ceiling, bend your left knee. So if it's a struggle to sit up tall, you can have your foot further away from you where it's a little bit easier to sit tall, especially if you're not on a block on the floor. So have your foot wherever it feels appropriate to have it. And take your right hand on that left knee. Left fingertips on the floor. And then lift up tall. So left toe, right toes pointing to the ceiling. Take a breath in. As you exhale, take a turn to your left. Breath in to lift tall. Breath out to turn to the left, looking over your left shoulder. So you don't have to go to your maximum. You know there's going to be lots of breaths. And if someone was looking at you, they would know from the movement that you make whether you're breathing in or breathing out. One more breath in. Final breath out to turn. Gently unwind. Stretch your legs out. Give them a shake. So stay where you are. I'm going to turn to the side just so that you get a side view. If you're sat on your block, you're sat nice and centrally on your block. Take your feet just a little bit apart and maybe a bit of bend of your knees. And keeping weight on the block, you're going to sort of shimmy forwards as if you're trying to come off the front of your back of your block. You might have to shimmy your feet forwards as well. But you're not going to come off, you're going to tilt it forwards. So can you see how the back comes up? But it's like the skin on the backs of my thighs has been pulled back and kind of there's more flesh here than there would otherwise be. So like a bit of an arch in your lower back, as much as you can manage. Bit of bent knee makes it easier to get the bit of arch. If you've got the arch easy, you can stretch the legs, that's fine. But want that bit of arch in your lower back. And then you're going to walk your hands forwards. If walking your hands forwards doesn't feel like it's a good thing to do, keep your hands behind. If it's very difficult for you to hinge from your hips, it's easier if you've got your hands here. If gravity lets you come forwards, you kind of know whether it does or not. But keep your chest lifted, keep your collarbones stretching up sort of diagonally forwards and keep that arch of your back. That's what we're going to think about just for a couple of breaths. So as you breathe in, arch your lower back. Just feel like you're pushing your tailbone back behind you. And then as you exhale, relax. So now you don't have to lift your collarbones. Relax your shoulders, not forcing yourself down. Breath in again, push your tailbone out. Feel as if you were trying to arch your lower back. And breath out to soften. So slow breaths, as slow as you like, but on every in-breath, a bit of arching of your lower back. And on every breath out, softening to a place that's more comfortable for you. You can have your knees bent or your knees straight. It's all just about your lower back and pushing your tailbone out behind. Don't be afraid to have your hands behind your hips. That's all good if that's a struggle to get any movement in your lower back. You can take 2 more slow breaths there. Breath in, pushing back. Breath out to relax. 1 more breath in. And 1 more breath out. If your hands are forwards, bring them back either side of your hips. Tuck your chin in towards your chest. Gently roll yourself back up. Slide yourself off your block. If you're on a block, put it to one side. Have a lie down on your back. So as you lie down, consider what feels comfortable. Where are your legs most comfortable? Maybe your feet as wide apart as the mat, maybe somewhere else. And your arms a little way away from your body, palm face up so that your chest can open. Anywhere that feels more comfortable to you, then take it. If your chin feels like it's lifting up towards the ceiling, then take the weight off the back of your head, tuck your chin towards your chest or your neck, and then place the back of your head back down on the floor. Then relax your shoulders, relax your head. If it's still not comfy, you can try with a block behind your head, that's all fine as well. Close your eyes. And then in your mind repeat, I'm relaxing my feet and my ankles. I'm relaxing my feet and my ankles. My feet and my ankles are relaxed. I'm relaxing the whole length of my legs. I'm relaxing my legs. My legs are relaxed. I'm relaxing my hips. I'm relaxing my hips. My hips are relaxed. I'm relaxing my fingers, my hands and my wrists. I'm relaxing my fingers, my hands, my wrists. My fingers, my hands and my wrists are relaxed. I'm relaxing my arms. I'm relaxing my arms. My arms are relaxed. I'm relaxing my shoulders. I'm relaxing my shoulders. My shoulders are relaxed. I'm relaxing my chest and my back. I'm relaxing my chest, relaxing my back. My chest and back are relaxed. I'm relaxing my head and neck. I'm relaxing my head and my neck. My head and neck are relaxed. I'm relaxing my face. I'm relaxing my face. My face is relaxed. I'm relaxing the whole of my body. I'm relaxing the whole of my body. The whole of my body is relaxed. Gently stretch your arms beyond your head. Reach out for the wall behind. Bring your legs together. Push your heels away, pull your toes up towards you. And then point your toes away. Reach long. Release the stretch. And bend your knees, feet onto the mat. Knees onto your chest, hands around your knees. Take a rock side to side. Allow yourself one big rock all the way onto your right side. Take a rest there. Gently back up to sitting. Namaste. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope to see you again soon.